What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Bournemouth 3, Tottenham 2 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Bournemouth are pretty much just done to us what we did to them earlier on in the season. Not as dramatic because we scored 2 late goals that day. But we get a late goal to go 2-2 in a game where we probably don't deserve to be level. And Bournemouth, in the last few minutes of the game, go up the other end, and more poor defending from Pedro Porro. He gets completely bodied by Dominic Solanke, and Utara is played in, and he polishes it off unbelievably well. And Bournemouth win the game 3-2, but it's just nowhere near good enough from Tottenham, is it, today?
I just can't believe what I've seen again. No desire. Brian spoke about it's the desire to go and win that game of football. Bournemouth had just conceded to go 2-2 with 6-7 minutes left. Richarlison has a free header 6 yards out, misses the goal, and then they go up the other end because their desire is more. The desire from Bournemouth was to go and win that game of football. There was no desire from Tottenham today. I can't believe it. It's gone from elation to what we're feeling now. It's unbelievable.
And, you know, let's take it from the beginning, right? Bournemouth came out the traps really well at the start of this game, and then Spurs took control. Spurs looking like the ones in the ascendancy. And, you know, we were creating chances, maybe not albeit clear-cut chances, but we were on top of them. We looked like we had, you know, good control in the game. We were positive. We were pressing from the front. We were not giving them a moment's rest on the ball. We get that goal with a lovely ball over the top from Clement Longley to Perisic. Perisic in behind. He cuts it back to Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son did the rest. And then it just went from... just flipped on the knife edge, didn't it? I mean, Clement Longley goes down injured. Davinson Sanchez comes on. And me and you were sitting here being like, oh, God, here we go again. Davinson Sanchez coming on. This is not a good thing. Like, I would have put Tanganga on. I would have gone 4 at the back. Anything but bring Davinson Sanchez on. And me and you can see that. Everyone in the chat was saying that. I'm sure everyone in the stands was saying that. So how can the manager not see that? Sanchez has come on, and he's put in an absolute shit show. An absolute shit show. The goal that we go 1-1 at the end of the first half, the ball gets stuck under his feet. He plays it out to Pedro Porro after that. It's a poor pass, and Pedro Porro just plays his way into trouble. And by the way, that was Pedro Porro's about 5th or 6th mistake in the game defensively. He was absolutely shocking defensively today. But him and Sanchez together were just an absolute calamity, both of them being on the same pitch, albeit Sanchez did play on the left side and Porro was on the right, but they were absolutely terrible together, and it just went from bad to worse after that. Bournemouth put it on us consistently throughout that end of that first half, and it looked like they were the ones deservingly going into the break drawing, but maybe they could have even been ahead going into the break, to be honest. And the way the second half started, it was just more of the same of that. Just more of the same of that. Bournemouth wanting it more than us. Defensive shit shows. We couldn't play it out the back at all in that second half, in that latter stage of the first half. Kept giving it back to them time and time and time again. I thought Højbjerg was tragic. I thought Porro was tragic today. Davinson Sanchez, what did he last? 20 minutes, half an hour?
Yep.
He had to be taken off. And it was just a complete shit show all round. And that Bournemouth second goal was all Davinson Sanchez again. He basically made a lovely assist for the Bournemouth goal. And then he had to get taken off. And I mean, why did it get to that stage? Everyone knew that, you know, Sanchez is capable of that.
Yeah, and look, I think the other thing that happened was there was the ironic cheers when he did get substituted. That's the irony of it. We could all see it. And, you know, Powder TCG has said it with a super chat. As much that's on Sanchez, you have to blame the management of the club. He needs to be sold and sold ASAP. I mean, yeah, Bournemouth just wanted it more. Tottenham, again, turning up to a game where they thought they had every right to win that game without having to put in a performance. From top to bottom, okay, Hugo didn't really have a lot to do. He made that one good save. That's all that really did. The rest of it, they were the goals. There wasn't anything else. There wasn't anything else for him to do, really. Then obviously Pedro Porro. Look, you all know me. You all know how much I big up Emerson Royal. But today, Pedro Porro was absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. And we can't sit here and say, you know, obviously the Leicester game was his first game, and everyone, oh, it's his first game in the Premier League, give him time. Well, I haven't seen much apart from that goal that he scored. That's all we've seen realistically from his going forward. His crosses were poor. They were going out. They were being blocked. Eric Dyer just didn't look. I mean, like we said at the end, he was trying to head a ball that was on the floor. Longley by far, you know, Perisic first half turned up and then just disappeared in the second half. Longley, up until the point that he went off, was, you know, you could probably argue that he was probably our best defender. That ball through made the goal in the first half for Son. Midfield, Skip and Højbjerg went missing again second half. They all went missing. Son scored that goal and we thought, oh, everything's going to be all right. Son disappeared. Kane was very rarely in the game. Kulusevski was poor. Look, Danjuma and Richarlison were probably, you know, came on and they showed some fight. They showed some desire, but that was only two of them. The rest of them, it's another bad day at the office. These players are just awful.
Yeah, I want to see Kulusevski come out of the team now. I think he's putting in poor performances consistently now. And when we've got players like Richarlison and Danjuma waiting in the wings, there's no reason why a player in our front line should be playing poorly consistently week after week and not come out of the team. There is no reason for it whatsoever. And however poor we were today, which we were for the majority of the game, we were very, very poor today. But we did nearly snatch those 3 points today, funnily enough. You know, Danjuma comes on, and what you say, you know, he showed energy, he showed running, he showed someone that actually wanted it, someone that actually wanted to put in the running and put in the effort. And he got rewards for that. He got that goal with a lovely finish into the bottom corner. And then a few minutes later, corner comes in, it flies to Richarlison, and, you know, right in front of the goal, a free header, and he heads it wide. And if that goes in, you might be talking about 3 points, but then they go up the other end and score straight away. And that shows how fine the margins were today. However poor we were actually moments away from grabbing those 3 points today.
Yeah, look, I think I mean, the corner from Perisic to the end, the crossing at the end, it was just disastrous. And look, I don't know where we go from here, because look, if Longley's out,
Season's over.
Yeah, if Longley's out, and we attempt to go and play 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 or however we want to play, we don't have the personnel now. If we're going to have to either play Sanchez or Tanganga, or we're going to have to just go back four
at the back.
We have to go four at the back, and that's the only real option that we have now. And then does that mean that, you know, we bring in or play 4-3-2-1, bring in Sarr into that midfield, Danjuma and Son, and I just don't know. There's again another game where there's more questions than there is answers, and where we go from here.
Big question marks if you move to a back four about Pedro Porro right back, you know, because more defensive capabilities are going to need to be shown.
Yep.
And if he's performing like that, we got no chance in a back four.
No, we haven't. And look. It's quite possibly the worst result that could have happened. Not only of Newcastle, they were played off the park earlier at Villa Park. They're going to be wanting to come with a reaction next Sunday. And we are going to go up there thinking, okay, well, what are we going to do? We're going to sit back. The crowd is going to be really loud, going to be really intense all over us.
I think for us massively next weekend.
And it could be a massive embarrassment.
Next weekend, we know this team crumble when they get put under pressure. And they're going to be under untold pressure next weekend at St James's Park. The fans are going to be giving them the pressure. The Newcastle team are going to be putting them under pressure. And I can't see anything but a major collapse at St James's Park next week. I think that result today put a nail in the coffin of our top four race. I think that you're not going to get top four when you got Newcastle, Manchester United and Liverpool coming up and not get a win against Bournemouth at home. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
so today, they nail it in the coffin of our season, of our top four race. And when you're looking at the teams, right up our arses in Aston Villa and Brighton, you know, we could very easily finish 7th or 8th this season.
Yeah, and look, the interesting thing here as well, Liverpool, although they're 9 points behind us, they have 2 games in hand and they play us. Yeah. So it could not only go from bad to worse, Liverpool. Right. So Liverpool on 44 points, 2 games in hand. Brighton are on 49 with 2 games in hand. They win them, they go above us. Villa, who have won, 8 out of the last 9 or something ridiculous. They're unbeaten in 10 or some crazy stat. They're only 3 points behind us. We have to play Villa away. Manchester United are 3 points ahead of us with 2 games in hand. And it looks like Rashford injury isn't as serious as first thought. Yes, they've lost Martinez. Yes, they haven't got Shaw. But look, there's that. Newcastle, who lost today, 3 points ahead of us with a game in hand and play us next Sunday. You know, like you say, Ben, I think, you know, we were talking about the end of next week being the final nail in the coffin. I think it could be Sunday.
I think it was today, to be honest. I know mathematically it's not today, but when you're looking at the games that we've got coming up, when you're looking at how tragic we are on the road, and now we're dropping points at home, we needed our home form to be absolutely perfect if we had any sort of fighting chance. So this loss against Bournemouth is going to be super, super detrimental to us, and it's season over, in my opinion. So, look, there you have it. That is our instant match reaction after the 3-2 loss in the last minute to Bournemouth. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. Next up, it is your chance to have your say on the post-match fan show. So come and join us. Link will be in the community section for all Gold members. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on.